Being different is your superpower. Kindness and courage make you unstoppable.
The Quiet Genius, Yassin's new start.
Yassin loved his school. He was one of the best students in his class, sharp, curious, and always ready to learn. He had lots of friends to play and laugh with, and they all looked forward to seeing him every day. Many of his teachers were his favorites. And guess what? They loved teaching him too. But do you know what Yassin loved the most? Math. He could solve tricky problems in no time at all. And not just math. He was really good at Arabic and science too. Learning was like a grand adventure for Yassin, and he couldn't wait to see what each new day would bring. One sunny morning, the school loudspeaker crackled to life. Today, we're giving a special award to a student who's kind, curious, and always ready to learn. Everyone leaned in. Whispers flew around the room. Who could it be? Then came the big announcement. This year's Student of the Year is Yassin. The class erupted in cheers. Yassin's eyes lit up. He walked proudly to the front where his favorite teacher gave him a big certificate with his name. His friends clapped, his teachers smiled, and Yassin beamed with pride. All his hard work had paid off. At home, his family celebrated. "We're so proud of you, Yassin," his mother said, her eyes shining. Yassin smiled. He felt happy, proud, and a little bit shy as everyone gathered around him. That evening, they all sat down to enjoy his favorite dinner, with extra dessert, just for Yassin. One night, while Yassin was sleeping, he felt a gentle shake. He blinked awake and saw his parents beside his bed, their faces pale and worried. There were strange, frightening noises outside, loud bangs and rumbles that shook the walls. His parents knelt beside him and whispered the words he didn't expect to hear. There was a war outside. Yassin's heart raced. He and his family huddled together, scared and confused. Nothing felt normal anymore. The streets were quiet, the sky was dark, and the air was heavy with fear. After days of waiting and worry, Yassin's father gathered the family and spoke in a calm but serious voice. They were leaving. "We're going to the United Kingdom. It's safe there." Yassin didn't know what to expect. He was going to miss his friends. He was going to miss the mango trees he climbed in the summer, the call to prayer in the evening, and the warmth of his neighborhood. He was going to miss his home and his city. They took a plane, leaving everything they knew behind. And as the clouds passed beneath them, Yassin looked out the window and held on to a tiny glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, things would be better where they were going. When Yassin arrived in England, everything felt different. The air was cold and crisp, and light rain came and went without warning. Rain jackets were a must, even on sunny mornings. Yassin and his mother took walks and explored. Tall trees lined the streets, their leaves rustling in the breeze. Brightly colored shops stood in neat rows, each with signs and displays that caught his eye. The way people spoke sounded friendly and cheerful, but the words moved quickly, and Yassin often didn't understand them. Still, he listened closely, hoping it would become easier with time. One afternoon in a quiet park, Yassin saw squirrels for the first time. They darted across the grass and scurried up trees with twitching tails and quick little paws. He loved watching them. They made him smile, even on the loneliest days when he missed his old friends. It was Yassin's first day of school. He stood by the curb and watched as the big yellow school bus stopped in front of him. Children laughed and talked as they climbed aboard. The children greeted him too, but their words felt like a puzzle. English was not Yassin's first language. When he entered the school, the teacher smiled warmly and said something Yassin didn't understand, but followed the students until he found the right class. In class, Yassin sat quietly at his desk, his fingers nervously tapping the edge of his notebook.
So, as you can see, the equation balances out perfectly. Any questions so far?
The teacher's words floated through the air like a strange melody, full of sounds he didn't comprehend. His eyes darted around the classroom, watching his classmates nod and raise their hands confidently. He wanted to join in, but the words felt like a puzzle with missing pieces. Why can't I get it, he thought. At lunchtime, Yassin sat alone. Around him, kids laughed and shared their snacks. Yassin wanted to join them, but he didn't know how to say the words. He opened his lunchbox, ate quietly, and watched. Later in the hallways, a mean boy laughed when Yassin dropped his books, but Yassin couldn't respond and say laughing is not a nice thing to do. This made him feel sad and lonely. That evening, his mother asked, "How was your first day, Yassin?" "It was all right," he said softly, not meeting her eyes. His mother felt that he was sad. She came closer and told him, "My son, I know it's a new place, a new school, and a new language, but you will adjust and it will be great." Back in school, Yassin sat at his desk, trying his hardest to follow the teacher's words. He leaned forward, squinting at the board, hoping, anything would make sense. But no matter how hard he listened, the sentences stayed jumbled, like pieces of a puzzle that refused to fit. His classmates answered questions with ease, while Yassin sank deeper into his chair, feeling more like a shadow in the room. In gym class, Yassin stood quietly, watching as the teacher clapped and gave instructions. The other kids moved confidently, but Yassin hesitated, unsure of what to do. He tried to copy their movements, but his arms and legs felt clumsy and out of sync. "Why can't I get this right?" he thought, glancing around nervously. That evening, Yassin's mum stood by his bed, looking at him with a worried face. He wasn't his usual cheerful self. He wasn't laughing or playing with his brothers. He was so quiet. "Yassin, are you okay?" she asked gently. "I'm fine," he whispered, staring at the wall. But his mum knew something was wrong. She kissed his forehead and said, "Whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here." Days passed, but Yassin still felt lonely. One afternoon, as he walked down the hallway, the same mean boy muttered and sneered. But Yassin didn't understand the words, but the tone really hurt. The boy then walked away, laughing. Yassin sat alone in a quiet corner of the school, hugging his knees. His chest felt heavy, and his eyes stung with tears. "This is too much," he thought. "I can't keep it inside anymore. I need to tell someone." Yassin didn't have any friends yet. He couldn't understand what everyone is saying, and now that boy wouldn't stop being mean to him. That evening, his mother became worried when Yassin wasn't acting like himself again and decided to take him to the clinic. After the doctor checked him over, she smiled and said, "He's completely fine." Though relieved, his mother couldn't shake the worry in her eyes, still wondering why Yassin seemed so distant. That night, Yassin sat on his bed, his hands twisting nervously. "Mom, Dad," he said quietly, "I need to tell you something." As he spoke, his parents listened carefully. When he finished, Yassin's parents looked worried and sad, but his mum assured him, "Yassin, we're so proud of you for telling us," she said gently. "You don't have to go through this alone," his dad added. "We're going to talk to your school to stop the bullying and help you with your English. Things will get better, we promise." Yassin felt a little lighter inside, knowing he wasn't alone anymore. The next day, Yassin's mother and father stood in the principal's office explaining everything. The principal listened closely, his face growing serious. "This is not okay," he said firmly, clearly disappointed. Later, they met with Yassin's teacher and shared what had been happening. The teacher nodded, promising, "We'll take action right away to make sure Yassin feels safe and supported." The boy was called to the principal's office and was asked not to do it again, and he apologized and showed remorse. During the last class of the day, The teacher announced a tricky math puzzle. "Whoever solves it first," she said, "will win the class a pizza party." Everyone stared at the problem, stumped. But not Yassin. His eyes lit up. He loved numbers. He quietly got to work, thinking carefully. Then with a smile, he raised his hand. The teacher checked his paper, then gasped. "Yassin, you're a genius!" she exclaimed. "That's absolutely right." The class cheered, and Yassin grinned as the teacher announced, "We're having a pizza party." As the class celebrated, the teacher added,
Our different strengths, languages, and backgrounds are what make our classrooms such a special place.
and for the first time, Yassin felt happy, proud of himself and included. After class, Yassin saw the boy struggling to pick up his papers, and he decided to help him. The boy was glad and also nervous and stopped and said, "I'm sorry for being mean to you," the boy said quietly. "You're really smart and kind. My name is George. Can we be friends?" Yassin thought for a moment, then smiled and said, "Friends." From that day on, Yassin felt less alone. He worked hard to learn English, and his classmates started helping him along the way. Little by little, Yassin showed everyone that being different was something special, and that kindness could make all the difference.